It is taking the human lives. Every minute, one person is dying of tuberculosis in India, some corner or the other. So, innovation in this area is lacking. With the advent of HIV in 1993, as WHO, after declaring the global tuberculosis as a global emergency, then some research has been started in this area. So there are a couple of new drugs in the pipeline, but this innovation from Indian pharmaceutical company Cadila is really a welcome aspect. And I know the kit is very cost effective, the Reservoir kit. I think the speaker, Dr. Koteshwara, will highlight regarding the subject. But as far as there are two major hurdles as far as the control of tuberculosis is concerned. The first thing is lack of a cheap, cost-effective, simple, rapid, and moreover highly sensitive diagnostic test that should be made available at the point of care facility.
I'm going to give a small presentation on the recent advancements in the treatment of tuberculosis. Still, the tuberculosis is a dreadful disease because since 1966 there is no drug is not available as a first-line drug. From 1951, INH has been invented. Later, pyrazimide followed by ethambutol. Next is the rifampicin in 1966. After that, there is no effective drug for tuberculosis all over the world. There is so many drugs are in the trial. Maybe the promising is the only the one moxifloxacin, and rest of the things are in the second-line drugs. They are very toxic. Presently, in the 2014 at the Geneva WHO conference, again they made a new guidelines. The end-to-TB strategy by 2050-2035. Presently, India, in the tuberculosis, the Indian scenario is every 3 minutes, 2 persons are dying. Every 3 minutes, 2 persons are dying. And every sputum positive patient is going to infect more than 10 people in a year. So we need a good, effective drug to control the disease in an effective way in a short duration. So there are different strategies by WHO. The thing is, they want to decrease the mortality by more than 90% by 2035. And the incidence also, they want to decrease 90% by 90%. The guidelines as of now is the better and shorter treatment, the affordable care, novel diagnostics and prevention. So today I am going to highlight the recent advances which happened in the tuberculosis treatment. Happened in the last decade. These are the several drugs: delamanid, PI824, bedaquiline, sulfonylurea. So these are drugs with the novel mechanisms action. Some are already they are approved by US FDA. Some European Union companies. Some are in the pipeline. So this is the bedaquiline Citro. This is the 100 grams tablet available in the USA and also in some countries. Recently, I have been in Turkey. There, the bedaquiline tablet, 100 mg tablet is costing around 25 euros. 25 euros means 25 into 30. Nearly one tablet is costing around 1,000 rupees in India. So that is not at all affordable for the Indian population. The bedaquiline, as indicated in MD and TB in adults, there is no cross resistance with the ethambutol pyrazimide. It's not approved in European Union or India. It acts by inhibiting the ATP synthesis, but this is a promising drug. It is going to maybe in the near future it may come into India also. Another one is the delamanid, that is called Deltiva, approved in the European Union, not by either US or India. It's 100 mg BD for 25 weeks. It is also very expensive. And these before two drugs those are already approved by some international accredited companies. And another main 3 drugs are there in the pipeline. And one is the Sudocrem. It's a linezolid analog. All you aware linezolid analog. and it has potential to shorten the treatment duration. Another one is the SQ109. It's an analog of ethambutol. This is very much useful for our PG students for the preparation of their exams. They should know what are the treatment products in the future for the tuberculosis. It has a early bactericidal action and also faster sputum conditioner, and it's a synergistic additive action with INX and rifampicin and also with the second-line drugs. And also the third drug is in the pipeline is the PA-824 protamidine. It's a safe, well-tolerated 120 both for the drug sensitive and drug resistant tuberculosis cases. Presently in the undergoing phase 2B and 3 trials. Are you aware the moxifloxacin? Is the moxifloxacin is presently we are using in the MDR TB cases only. Presently, there are studies are going on the role of drug sensitive TB. The only molecule moxifloxacin has been extensively studied for the treatment of tuberculosis. In the future, most probably moxifloxacin may be an alternative to INH ethambutol in the regimens. It is going to shorten the duration of treatment from 6 months to 2 months also. The Cadillac company has been invented the new molecule that is called Resoride. Why? Because the rifampicin is the main important in the ATT drug. In the first line antitubercular, rifampicin is the bactericidal and very important drugs. What are the shortcomings of the rifampicin? It has the 3 major limitations, rifampicin. One is the low and variable bioavailability. So initial days you have good serum concentrations of the rifampicin in the blood, and then later the first week or the 4th week, 5th week, the bioavailability of the rifampicin will come down. That is called subtherapeutic serum rifampicin levels, and it has a tremendous, very bad vomiting, nausea sensation in some part of the patient because of the either 450 milligrams or 600 milligrams doses, and it has the hepatitis also. The rifampicin, there is instance of the 30% of the patients is going to have the GI side effects, and 4% of the patients have the side effects of the hepatitis. And are you aware the multiple drug and drug-to-drug interactions by rifampicin? Why? Because what is the problem with the rifampicin? Rifampicin is going to induce the cytochrome P450. It leads to the auto-induction, and it's damaging the rifampicin activity in the blood and decreases the bioavailability. And also the rifampicin leads to the overexpression of the P-glycoprotein. By P-glycoprotein, the action of the P-glycoprotein in the cell wall is it affects the rifampicin molecule out of the cell wall. So the rifampicin shortcomings is because of the 2 main reasons. One is the cytochrome P450 induces enzymes and overexpression of the glycoproteins. So how to control the rifampicin? Rifampicin is a very important molecule. Without rifampicin, there is no ATT. So we have to support the rifampicin. So then the thought of the the joint research by the CSIR, Council of Scientific Industrial Research by Jammu and Cadillac Pharmaceuticals, and they made one formulation is called the Resoride. Resoride contains only the 200 milligrams. As all of you know, the rifampicin contains the 450 milligrams or 600 milligrams. The 450 milligrams has been combined to the 200 milligrams with INS of the ISO is at 300 mg plus piperine. Piperine is a molecule as invented and has been developed in the clinical trials by CSIR and Jammu and the Cadillac Pharmaceuticals. The piperine, the advantage of the piperine, the piperine is going to inhibit the cytochrome P450 enzymes and also inhibits the overexpression of the P-glycoprotein. So it is going to, because of that reason, initially in the studies of because of the adding of the piperine, the scientists in the CSIR, they are decreasing the 450 milligrams to the 300, 200 like that. By end of the study, they know the simple 200 milligrams of the rifampicin is enough to maintain the serum rifampicin levels. So because of the adding of the piperine, they are decreasing the rifampicin levels, and at the same dose of this one. This is the very good innovation, and especially the other advantage is the main advantage, the main disadvantage of the rifampicin is the 450 milligrams is going to cause the intolerable GI side effects along with the hepatitis. So there is a less amount of the rifampicin, less amount of the GI side effects. There is improvement of the tolerance of the patient, and this is the importance is that because of the maintenance of the rifampicin bioavailability, even over the 24 weeks also, the therapeutic levels of the rifampicin has been maintained. So the sputum conversion rates is more or less better or same as the standard treatment of the 4-drug therapy. So, and this piperine combination of the Resorine developed by Cadila, the CSIR, it's approved by Drug Control General of India in 2009 for treatment of the drug sensitive tube. So, what is the difference between the Resorine combination and the simple rifampicin? Serum rifampicin levels is low variable if you are taking the plain rifampicin. If you are taking the blood sample of the patient is taking the rifampicin, the bioavailability of the serum rifampicin is very erratic. First week it will be 90%, by end of the second, third week it is going to be 60%, and by the fourth week, this is the problem. Patient is having the low efficacy sometimes. So because of the adding of the Resorine, the bioavailability has been maintained because of the inhibition of the cytochrome P450 and inhibition of the glycoprotein enzymes. So the levels of the rifampicin has been maintained. So tuberculosis bacilli, the sputum conversion rate, cure rate has been improved, are more or less equal to the standard therapy. GI tolerance also less with Resorine because of the low amount, only 200 milligrams of the rifampicin only. Risk of hepatitis is also high. With the rifampicin, nearly it goes to the 4%. Its Resorine is very lesser than the studies are showing 1 to 2% only, maybe lesser. Treated adherence rate is high because of the low side effects and better GI tolerability and all those things. And vomiting sensation also has been, I am observing the vomiting sensation early morning because nearly around 100 patients I used this molecule. And early morning they used to contain the food, taking the incidence of side effects early morning by 9 o'clock usually they will have some abdominal discomfort. That is also less with the Resorine combination. So the benefits of the Resorine is associated with the better tolerability and improved patient compliance. And it's going to cause the problem with the tuberculosis is the patient at the once after 1 or 2 months patient is symptom free, and after symptom free if he has any small side effect with the medicine he will stop the medicine. This is the biggest problem. So this is the reason the Resorine is going to cause any side effects like hepatitis and all those things. So patient will have the lower treatment failure rates, patient and reduce the relapse rates also, and increases the risk of the developing of drug resistance. That is the major problem in India. So there is a place of therapy, and you may no doubt it can be used in the pregnancy. Yes, it is used in the pregnancy because it's a Resorine. The combination of the piperine is not anything. It's a plant alkaloid. It's safely well tolerated. It's used in the this alkaloid is from the black pepper. They will make it. So it's safely used in the pregnancy. It can be used in the main advantage of the Resorine is a patient is having the altered liver functions, CKD, chronic liver disease, any history of hepatitis, and patient will have any increase in the liver enzymes. We can be tried in this type of patients. So it's a preferred choice in treatment of the drug susceptible pulmonary and extrapulmonary tuberculosis. Particularly, there is a patient is not tolerating either 450 milligrams or 600 milligrams of the rifampicin. Ideal switchover therapy to the patient is having hepatotoxicity because that is the reason we will stop the medicine and we will wait and see. So there is an options. So is the usual option in all patients at high risk of drug-induced hepatitis, alcoholics and elderly, malnourished and hepatitis patients also. Thank you very much.